What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm going to be reviewing and demoing the new Huda Beauty Matte Obsessions palettes. Now I do have both of them here with me. This is the Kohl Matte Obsessions and this is the Warm Matte Obsessions. And these two retail for $32 each, and I did get mine on hudabeauty.com. They're also available at Sephora as well. And here is both of the boxes. I love it. Sticking with the all matte theme. Here is the back. And this does say it has a 24-month shelf life. And I believe this was made in China, both of them. I believe all of her mini obsession palettes are always made in China. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. Let's start off with the Kohl Matte Obsessions. Packaging is super freaking adorable. Here is the shades. Now they do have two cream to powder shades in here. The Warm Obsessions palette. This one also has two cream to powder shadows. Which I believe this one, it's this one and that one. And then in the Kohl tone palette, I believe it is these two right here. Don't quote me on that. Or actually these two right there. Now I do believe they both have similar colors, just like Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. And I believe she has another mini obsession palette that has like some of these warmer tones as well, which I will go through at the end of the video. So first, let's go ahead and jump in. Oh, actually, I also did pick up the new Longwear Eye Pencil Creamy Eye Kohl from Huda Beauty. So I got the shade Very Brown, and I also got Very Vanta. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but it's an extreme black pencil. So I'm going to zoom you in. On this side, I'm going to go in with the Matte Warm Obsessions palette. And I do want to try out that creamy shade, which is this one right here. It does feel pretty creamy. And I'm going to place that all over my eyelid. And if my eyelids look a little funky, it is because I'm still like recovering from my allergic reaction. So don't mind that. But you can tell the cream and powder is emphasizing it just a little bit. And you guys know I don't like doing swatches because I'd rather see how the shadows perform on my actual eyelid. So that's nice. I mean, I think I could have done without the cream and powder, to be honest, but that is really pretty. Now I'm going to go in with the second cream and powder, and it's this one right here. And I think I'm going to place this on the outer corner of my eye, on the outer V. Now I'm going to try to pick it up with my brush and see if that makes any difference too. I need my brush to pick it up quite a bit of it. Now I am going to go with this darker shade right here at the bottom right corner with that same Morphe V206 brush. And I'm going to pat this on top of that cream powder. This did layer really nicely on top of that. I know it looks kind of muddy right now, but trust the process. Now, I do want to go in with this like terracotta shade right here. And I do want to say like these two colors do look very similar. So these two down here. I'll probably apply that lighter shade into my crease soon. I do have to say though, they are blending out very, very beautifully. And I think to further blend that edge out, I'm going to take a smaller brush, go back into that terracotta shade, and blend out this edge I have going on. I feel like it's been a minute since I've done an eyeshadow look. And now I'm going to go in with that L'Oreal times Morphe A11 brush. Now I'm going to go in with this shade right here, that same Morphe brush. Now I do have to say though that all of these colors are blending out seamlessly together. Now I'm going to go in with that middle shade right here, and I'm going to place that on top of that cream to powder shade. I do have to say though, if you do have a bit of texture in your eyelids, like that cream and powder will emphasize it, as you can tell on my eyelids right now, since they're kind of dry and just a little bit cracky due to my allergic reaction that I am experiencing. I'm going to go back into that deeper shade right in this palette. To further blend. I can't complain. That actually looks really nice. Now I'm going to mimic what I did on the bottom, on the top to the bottom. So I'm going to take the M507 brush by Morphe, taking that deeper shade. And running that on my lower lash line. Same brush, I'm going to take this shade right here. Lightly blend that out. That looks super beautiful. So I'm going to do my other eye. I'm going to use the matte Huda Beauty, the Kohl Matte's Obsession palette on this eye. And once I'm done, I'll apply lashes and then we'll see how everything looks. And we'll use the eye kohls as well. So let's see. So the two cream and powder shades are right here. And kind of what I did on this side, I'm going to place down those shades on my eyelids. So I'm going to use this mauve shade right here. Place that in the inner corner of my eye. It's actually a really beautiful color. And then with the darker shade, place that on the outer V. Now I can definitely see this using these two colors by itself. If you're just in a pinch and want something quick, I feel like this would be something really like easy and useful for you guys. Alright, now that I have those two shades on my lids, I am going to use deeper shade right here, and I'm using a Morphe Sweet Oasis brush. Set that cream. Now this is a very pigmented color. I do have to say so myself. Now with a Morphe x L'Oreal A20 brush, I'm going to take that lighter, actually. See, this is where I get a little bit confused. These two shades kind of look a little similar, but I know this one's a little lighter, so I'm going to take this one. And I want to set that cream to powder shade. Even though you really don't have to set these, did bring up that shade quite a bit. Now with a JH40 brush, I'm going to go back into that deeper plum shade that we used. And I am going to take that shade a little bit above my crease. I want to add a bit of dimension. Now with a fluffy brush, I want to take the shade right here, this like brownish shade, and see what I can do with this shade. These colors definitely can build up. And like I said, I feel like these shadows would be perfect for beginners. Now with a Sigma E40 tapered blending brush, I'm taking, the shade right here. Going back into the crease. And on the outer corner. I do feel like that deeper shade kind of got lost in what I was doing, so I'm gonna go back in with that deeper plum shade and just brighten it up and bring it out once again. Okay, actually, this is really pretty. All the shades are blending into each other. I feel like I'm just slapping some shades on, but I feel like you can really do some really beautiful looks with this palette. Now I'm going to go in with that deeper plum shade, stamp it on my lower lash line. Going back in with that detail brush, I'm going to go in the shade. Now I did feel like I created a little bit of mess right here, but I feel that I can clean that up pretty easily with some concealer. Alright, so I do want to try out the creamy Kohl pencils as well. So I want to try out, let's see, here is a very black right there, super black, and here is very brown, super creamy. I feel like this one calls for the very brown. I'm gonna apply that on my waterline. That was really easy to glide on. I use the same one on this side. Okay, so we're putting on eyeliner. It gives me like the heebie-jeebies. Ugh, I hate the feeling. Alright, so I am gonna apply some mascara and some lashes, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now with my lashes completed, I am using the Kiss Impress on falsies, and this is in the style, I believe, the Voluminous. And let's go ahead and get started with the comparison of the Kohl matte palette. So here is the Kohl matte palette, and here is Rose Quartz. Now, looking at these, they look very similar and have similar tones. The purples are the same, and there's some like mattes in here as well that are very similar. Like the very top row mimics the very middle. This one is the exact same as that one. And let's swatch it. So if you can tell, here is the Kohl matte, and here is Rose Quartz. And the only difference is that one is a little bit more cooler than the other, but very similar. Now, I feel like Gratitude and Rose Quartz is kind of the same as this one right here. It's just a little pinch darker, if anything. Rose Quartz is just a little bit darker and more vibrant. But if you have this one in your collection, I definitely feel like you wouldn't necessarily need the matte obsessions. And here is Mercury retrograde compared to the Kohl mattes. Same thing with the Rose Quartz. There's ones that are a little bit more similar than the others, but I definitely feel like Rose Quartz is like the older, bigger sister that is just a little bit more spicy. So I feel like these matte tone palettes are geared towards people who really want a subtle look instead of having very dramatic eyeshadow, and are just kind of simple and not want to deal with the fuss of blending too much. I feel like, as you can tell in the tutorial, that they just blended out like a dream, beautiful, a blender's dream. If you don't want to fuss about it, this is definitely a really beautiful matte palette to grab if you're a beginner. Oh, also here is the new nude palette compared to the mattes. Again, very similar in tones. If you have this one, you definitely don't need to buy this one. I would just stick with the new nude. Now, same thing with the Naughty Nude from Huda. Same kind of concept. Older, bigger sister, has more shimmers, more sultry. These palettes definitely can go in hand with one another, but they're definitely not necessary, in my opinion. Now, for the Warm Matte Obsession palette, so here is the Warm Obsession palette, and here is Caramel Brown. Now, very similar as well, but this one is just like I said before, the older, more sultry sister. And if you don't like shimmers, I feel like you'll like this one. But if you do have the Caramel Brown, they're so similar. And I don't have the Toffee Obsessions palette that Huda has, but that one is also very comparable. If I can find the picture, I'll post it right here for you so you can look at it, comparison to this one. But they're so similar. Definitely not something you would want to really invest your money in if you have these palettes. Now, to be honest, I have to say I am a huge fan of Huda Beauty, and I love all of her products. And I can be a little bit biased in some things. I do feel like that these colors are very repetitive in her collection, that you necessarily don't need them. I don't have that Empowered palette with me actually to compare this shadow with that one, but I also will post a picture right here so you can get a little bit of a comparison as well. Empowered palette is just like this one as well. If you have that one, this one's definitely not necessary in your collection. But if you feel like you can use these little mini obsessions in conjunction with other palettes, I mean, by all means, use them. I feel like they're very beautiful, and like I said, very easy to use and very easy to blend out. You will not be disappointed in these palettes. But like I said before, all these palettes are very repetitive, same color scheme. But you gotta love Huda Beauty. Her formulation is just beautiful. I could have done without the two cream to matte shadows. I would have liked her to replace some of the shades in here with another shade, but overall they are very on brand what they're going towards or trying to do with these palettes. I feel like, honestly, if you're a beginner and not very good with eyeshadow and want to learn how to really blend and use eyeshadows, these two will be your lifesavers and you can learn from them. So with that being said, I personally do love these eyeshadows. Do I think it's necessary to have in your collection if you have Huda Beauty's bigger palettes and the other mini obsession palettes? I really don't think it's necessary. Definitely think about getting these if you have already the bigger palettes from Huda. Alright guys, so this concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I'd highly appreciate it. And also, if you guys want me to do another look using this palette, I'd be more than happy to. I feel like there's a lot of potential to be had in these palettes, so just let me know in the comment section below. I would be more than happy to do that for you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!